Hey guys, today it's the day after yesterday, and yesterday was the day when I was on the stage. What? Yes, it went pretty well, I believe. Nobody said that I did shit. So, yeah, a lot of people said like, "Whoa, good job," and I was like, "But you wouldn't tell me if I did bad, if I was a bad performing moment." But yeah, I don't know. Um, I was even interviewed, uh, and I said Joe Biden, and then somebody recognized me when I went off stage, and like, oh, that's Mr. Joe Biden, and yeah, it was very fun because I ended up talking with the people that did that, and they were like the band people. They weren't banned, but they were in a band. What? Yes, and I even spoke with two people that were in like a band. No, not no. They were in theater. They were like theater people, like performing in theaters and stuff. And and the day, was it yesterday that I don't know. The practice time was. I was very intrigued. I think it's yeah. I was really fascinated with what they were able to do when I saw them uh like dance around and sing as well. And like, oh, I want to try that someday. And so I went up to them and asked them before I left, and said like, oh, hey, can I? How? Where do I like sign up for this stuff? And then I gave my phone number to one of them, and I might be going to like theater school or something uh, in the fall, which is going to be fun because I I've been wanting to like do improv classes, but I don't know where to begin, and I don't really know where to go for stuff like that. So I've just kind of cruised around, just doing my own stuff, and just usually I end up places where like because people invite me, but now I've changed my fate by my own hands. I am going to become the theater man. I don't know. Maybe I tend to have a lot of well, I'm really clumsy, so it's gonna be. I'm guessing it's gonna be pretty hard in the start, but I've realized that as long as I find it fun and I see like a reason for doing it, I believe I definitely can learn it and maybe become like ungodly good at it. Probably not, but yeah, I don't know. I also want to just eradicate like the rest of my stage fright type bit. I'm not even I like when I was on stage, I didn't really feel anxious. I just kind of felt like, whoa, okay, I'm doing this. Just like this last time I was on stage, because then I was like, I just looked out at the people and were like, yo, they're here and they're gonna hear me sing and do the thing and like the hee yo, which is kind of nice because usually I just well, yeah, I usually just sing for like um my own amusement, like keeping my brain calm and stuff. Like whoa, eye contact. Um, yeah, I usually sing because I it's a very easy way to control the stimulation I put on my brain or give my brain. Like I can if I'm overstimulated, I just stop singing subconsciously, and then when I need stimulation, I just start singing subconsciously, and that takes away all the problems from watching a video or listening to a podcast. Because if I get overstimulated while watching a YouTube video in the background, it wouldn't stop by itself. Like it would keep playing, and I would not recognize that I'm losing energy because I'm overstimulated, and therefore I can usually like sit without music or a video and just like make sounds myself, because to me I'm just in flow state, so I don't even recognize that I'm making sounds often. But sometimes I do recognize that, like, oh yeah, I'm making a beat, and then I record it because it's like it's very repetitive, and that's very nice. But it's also like a nice balance, I believe. It feels nice. It's not always in tune with anything. It's often like off key or on like a flat or whatever, like a semitone down or whatever. But if I yeah, I don't know. I've had a lot of fun doing that. And then it's also just easier on my brain, and like if I can subconsciously maintain my focus or my brain stimulation for like 12 hours straight, because then I can like sit and make stuff for like 12 hours straight. But I remember when I was working in the studio thing that I was at before, I couldn't really sing because there were like other people working, and other, like, it was just one big room, like an open plan or whatever, and I could only have like a podcast or a video or music in the background. I couldn't just like yeah, and it would be constant because I would try to drown out all the background noise, but then I would get like super tired and like super drained, and I didn't really understand why. I did start to think, or I did start to realize that, like, oh yeah, okay, I'm just overstimulated. And then I also realized, like, oh, I can't really turn off the music because then I can't concentrate either. And then with all of the stress added in the like back, like on my back, uh, I don't know. I just couldn't do anything. Yo, the color's going wild. It's okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I just ended up not being able to do anything, and that's kind of why I don't want to go back to working at like a studio, or like work with in a office where a lot of people are, because I can't really uh, just start singing randomly, because other people would get annoyed because they would have their own music, and then when they can hear me just yelling out like just randomly, they would lose like focus, and yeah, I couldn't have done that. So yeah, it I don't know, it might be a blessing that I can't work very much, or that I can't work efficiently in a group setting, because then it means that I would naturally uh, glide towards working in my own, like by myself. And I know that by working with yourself, like only yourself, that is kind of like putting a cap on your vision. because doing everything yourself doesn't really make good. It doesn't always mean that the things you make are like impressive, but if you're not worried about like uh, impressing others and only impressing yourself, or mostly impressing yourself, because we all try to impress others, even though if it's just one person or a group. But it's like I don't know. I I I believe at least that everyone has some varying degree of like wanting to impress others and wanting to impress themselves. And like some people don't even want to impress themselves; they just want to impress others, and that is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just, I don't know. You might not get as much enjoyment if you rely on other people's um, feedback for your own happiness. Because I don't like um, relying on other people's emotions for my own emotions. Because I've definitely done that before. Like really, I've been having like I've had so many days where I've had like a good day, and then like had a I've just started to have like a really bad mindset and stuff because somebody else didn't act the way that I wanted them to act, and I'm like, oh no, why didn't they act like that? Why didn't they say like that? Oh, I'm useless, and like negative stuff like that. But then I realized when I was working more alone and stuff, I was more thinking like I experimented with because I often posted my art in places, and when people didn't interact with it, I would go like, no, I'm probably like really bad and I can't really recognize it myself, and everyone else just don't say anything positive because it's bad or whatever. But then I realized like, okay, I'm because I also saw so many people just leaving communities because they believed like everyone was against them and like people didn't like them, and it was weird seeing it from an external view, because it would be like that person fitting in like perfectly, like not not seeming disconnect, or like um yeah, not being unfairly treated, and just like one day or some day just like, oh, I hate this community, and I just tweak out and like just leave, and we're all just sat there like, what, huh? And then I realized like, oh, okay, so it's just everyone, or I don't know if everyone, well, yeah, probably everyone have like moments where they're like, oh shit, okay, everyone hates me, even though it's just internalized insecurities, and like it's only my own imagination, um, like bending my insecurities so it looks like it's coming from the other people. And I've learned that the more I just stick with my the more I just like tell myself like, ah, they don't hate me, they just well, I went over, I took like a 180 from like, oh, they probably hate me, to like, oh, they don't respond because they feel inferior to my superiority in whatever I make. They can't reach my level, therefore they are pissed off. But then I was like, ah, probably not. Um, but for a long time I did think that, like, oh yeah, I'm God, and they they can't handle the truth. Uh, yeah, I like to think that I'm better than that now, but I definitely still think like that sometimes. I'm gonna drink some water so I don't do the clicking with my. No, don't stop the recording. Oh, okay, because I did a recording yesterday and it stopped like 2 minutes in. Luckily, I restarted the thing, so I did make the episode 3. Oh yeah, by the way, this is episode 4. Oh yeah, no editing challenge. And yeah, I did put my hair up, or no, I I cut it off and then I glued it on. That's how to do hair. If you have problems with your hair, oh, it's kind of cold. Ooh. If you have problems with your hair, step number 1, cut it off. Step number 2, glue it on. Make a wig out of it, because then you don't need to like wash it. I hate washing my hair because it takes so much time. Like, people say that it's like, oh no, I just spend like 15 minutes. Bro, I always spend like 45 minutes to an hour because I zone out like constantly. So I don't really do it that often. So my hair gets like insanely greasy. Like, I've stained, and also I don't change my uh, pillow covers enough. So that's why I have a blanket here, because it's literally like soaked into the pillow now, and even after washing it, like, this is disgusting, I know that, but in 10 years I'm not gonna connect with this, I believe. I don't know. Maybe I do. Maybe I just never learned to uh, maintain basic human functioning, or societal basic human functioning, because we were never evolved to have washing machines. On God, um but we were definitely evolved to use Blender. Yes, I love Blender. I am going to fanboy about Blender for all time, until now. I don't know if any pro no, I don't know if any program would be better than Blender, because Blender, you can do basically anything. Um, but you have to yeah, no, you don't need to make everything from scratch either. You can just download the stuff that you don't want to do yourself. Which means you could, in theory, make a model out of like other people's models, like kit bashing and stuff. I haven't done that. I don't. Well, I've done like scene compositions with or is that the? It felt like the right word there. Okay, I've done those with like the Blender kit add-on, giving me like free. Yeah, I don't pay for it because I don't use it enough, because I don't really like. I don't know. I like making characters, and I just make the most basic ass backgrounds, because usually it's like late at night whenever I render, because I make the model and then I just render it, and then I do slap on the pre-made compositing stuff in DaVinci, and then I just post it on Discord or whatever. So it's not like, I don't know, I don't spend too much time on the scenes. Mostly just like I have the default lights that I've set up in my default view, no, default scene. Yeah, I forgot the name of what that is. Um, Startup file, yeah, or startup scene, but I don't know. Yeah, I should probably, like, I did. Oh yeah, I want to make. Oh, it would be super nice with like the gizmos, because then now with the 4.3, I think they came the Geonodes gizmos. I don't know if that was 4.2 or 4.3. I was recently, at least. Wait, no, that was like several months ago. Oh God. Wait, when is? Oh, I'm looking forward to 4.4. I don't even know a single thing about it, or I can't remember a single thing about it. But I always look forward to Blender updates. I love Blender updates. I love Blender. Have I said that already? Bruh, me realizing that I no longer need to go outside to take photographs. What? That's crazy. We came so far, guys. We walked on the moon, and now I can sit at home, make adult content on my computer. What? I don't even need to. I don't even need to hire models and stuff. Whoa, flashbang. I can just like sit on my couch, make pornography, and then I could like just I don't know. We live in a wacky world, bruh. And in 5 years, who knows what's gonna happen? Maybe AI takes all jobs, so the only reason to live is just to live. And like, hopefully, like I would be really uh like I wouldn't be opposed to like universal basic income because I already know what I want to make or what I want to spend my time on, and I already know like my like I'm very passionate. I know that a lot of people my age don't have passion, and like it's all like, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna be when I grow up. I don't wanna. I don't know what my life goals are and stuff like that. Living life like just flowing around and like doing nothing. I know that a lot of people have that um, way of living, and I can see how like not having a not having like a job you have to go to might seem unappealing to people without like passion about whatever. Uh, but yeah, I would be, even if it wasn't like very much, I think I would be happier having like universal basic income than doing something that I don't care about just so I can eat. Because I don't wanna, I wouldn't want, I don't know, I feel like it's a waste of my time and waste of my energy and waste of just, I don't know, I feel like I can give society, I feel like I can give more to society from just making my own stuff, because maybe I just invent something new someday accidentally or whatever, and then like that changes the course of history or whatever. That it's a very like delusion of grandeur, I know, but it's like uh, I don't know, you never know. Maybe I like inspire somebody to like do something, and then they make something life changing or whatever. It's I don't have to do it directly. It could be like I inspire someone who then inspires someone who then inspires someone, that like down the line like trickle down inspiration. No, I don't know. I don't think I care that much about, well, I want to inspire people, but I also like want to inspire me myself. But yeah, I also really like or really love helping people learn Blender, for example, or just learning my interests or teaching my interests to others, because uh, I get to like see where I lack knowledge, not just like I get to say what I know. It's also like, oh, okay, I don't know how to say this to to a person who doesn't understand this concept, like if they don't understand UV unwrapping, how do I explain the different things and the reasons for doing it, and like how can I break this down into basic terms that a person without any uh, pre any like pre-existing knowledge about the topic, like how can I mainstream the information, make it more mainstream, like um for example with UV unwrapping, you could think of it like um having a balloon, and then you need to, like, how do you, or maybe not a balloon, but like a if you have a cardboard box, that's, yeah, that might be the best way of explaining it. If you have a cardboard box, if you take the, like the box, like the 3D box, and then you flatten it out, um and then you look, or before you flatten it out, you think about, okay, where is it cut, where are cuts and where are bends, like where is the cardboard, like uh, bent, and where is it just cut with a knife, um and if you just goes through the like when you unfold the entire cardboard box, you will notice where, because it's not just flat pieces, like square pieces just uh, stuck together with tape. It's like folded in a specific way, from a 2D sheet of cardboard into a 3D object, and that is essentially what UV unwrapping is. It's just the opposite way. Instead of having a 2D um, image or a 2D plane that you bend into a 3D object, you bend or you project, or make a 3D object become 2D. So yeah, well, maybe they make the boxes. Nah, I don't know. They probably use like cardboard CAD or whatever, like computer aided design. If you don't know what CAD means, if you don't know what that is, cringe. Honestly, bruh, moment. Nah. But yeah, it's often people think, or even I often think that, like a certain um, what's it called, a certain step, like for example, I used to think UV unwrapping where it was like this really hard to understand, really complex thing. And when one of the guys at the studio I worked at just explained it kind of simpler, like in a simpler term, or I don't know if it was one of the people at the office or if it was in a YouTube tutorial, but there was something that just somebody told me and it just clicked in my head. I just like, oh my god, yeah, okay, so it's super easy. It didn't like snap all the way, like I didn't know how to do it, but it just, the concept just made sense suddenly. And then of course you have to, like, after you have realized, like, oh, okay, it actually works like this, it's not that hard, then you need to start like doing it many times, and then you will like see the how to do it, because you can understand something how it works, but that doesn't mean you can execute the thing yourself. Like you can understand that a motor, like an engine, uh like how, nah, bruh, I don't know. You can understand how a how a little metal thingy majiggy uh, is made, like the materials and um like the tools you need to like make the thing, and then but you don't necessarily know how to use the tools to make that thing, or like how to make things out of the tools and stuff. Even though you can understand how it's made, you might not be able to do it yourself until you've tried it a few times. And that is why watching YouTube videos, just watching them, trying to soak up information by watching them, doesn't actually work very efficiently. Like, you might remember, like, there is something to do with some keyword, but you don't know what to do. You might, like, maybe you have a better, um, you might remember more, like, the different keywords, and like being able to search up, like, when you recognize that you haven't actually learned the thing and you need to refresh your memory. But most often people don't know what to search, and so they ask other people. And a part of becoming better at Blender is being more independent, in my opinion. Like, if as long as you need to ask others for help, like especially like creative decisions, the less no the yeah, the less, you know nah, wait, okay, yeah, the less you need to ask for help from others, the more you can, like, stand on your own, the more you know about Blender, or the more you have used it, at least, because you realize after a while, when you've gotten a lot of experience in something, that other people might know it, but if you just stick with whatever decision you make, and you try to understand why it worked out in the end, or why it didn't work out in the end, and like ask yourself, okay, why did this not work, instead of going to other people and going like, oh, why didn't this work? Because you won't have the same realization, like when you're told, like, oh yeah, this happened because of this, then you didn't like learn that. It was like told to you, and for you, if you need to no, you would need to remember that person's uh comment, but it's often really easy to forget that stuff, and so you would likely end up doing the same mistake over and over and over again. But when you do the mistake and then you ask yourself, okay, why did this not work, then you will make the connection yourself, and your brain will actually, like, save that information, at least a lot more. uh, uh, it will be easier to remember for many people, maybe. Some people might have a problem remembering stuff even if they did that, but also a lot of people would be like, uh, no, a lot of people also say like, oh no, my brain does not work like that, and they say more like that, no, I need to do it like this way, and then you can see, like, they haven't really understood that, like, the concept of understanding the things themselves. Because there are, like, it's hard to, like, explain, but you can, like, it's like looking at uh, someone who doesn't understand anatomy, like myself. I don't understand anatomy because I've had problems using like anatomical references, like real life references, because I just get like too sexually aroused because I want to make like hot women 3D models characters. And so I've had like a lot of problem just ending up looking at references. Like I've been like having an idea and then I've just sat for like 3 hours just looking at porn basically because I don't know, my my brain just, I don't know, I'm a deprived human being. I yeah, I don't know. I have gotten better at it because I realized I just hadn't been practicing how to use references effectively, because I've just had like the idea that the more pictures I have, the better, because then I will have from all angles. And then I've spent like so many hours just looking, or collectively, not just well, sometimes I've spent like hours because I've just looked at naked women reference pictures and like, whoa, she's so pretty, and like, yeah. Um, but yeah, after I've made like, I think I just made like one character where I used like references that wasn't like female reference. I used like the Shelby Cobra as reference for a character, like a Shelby Cobra inspired character. And then I realized like, yo, I gotta start using references more. And then I did it for another character that I'm working on now. Um, that is like a collection of different uh, PC hardware stuff, like Wi-Fi antenna type ears, um, and a webcam head. But I'm thinking of changing it from a webcam to like a stereo vision type beat, because I don't know, one eye didn't really it looks a little interesting, but it just, I don't know. Ooh, I had an idea if I could make it like curved, like a ooh. I'm having like um if there is like a visor, because I like making bunny characters. For those who haven't seen my art, I guess if you've been watching for 38 minutes and have, if you're sticking with this videos that long, you definitely like know my other stuff, I believe, because you wouldn't just look at somebody in their bed just talking about random nonsense that doesn't make sense if you didn't like uh, know me at a certain, like, yeah, I don't know, man. um but yeah, I've realized, or I've learned a little bit more about how to use references a little bit more efficiently. And I've also started to, instead of just doing everything as close to the reference as possible, I just take aspects of the reference image and just put my own flair on it. Like if there is a if there is a certain element, like for example the roll bar, the roll bars on the Shelby Cobra, I I made them into ears and a tail on the character, um, the Shelby Cobra character, uh, because I felt like, yo, that's kind of nice. And then I made the headlights into the boobies, because yeah, I usually, when I look at the car, I'm like the front fenders, like the the like the two like thigh looking things where the lights stick onto and the front wheels are type it, um like on the sides of the hood. I always see those as like very long stretched out tits, and then I'm like, oh, I gotta make that into a character someday. And I even made like a Shelby Cobra. Like I love the shape Shelby Cobra. It looks so cool. Like I love the curves on it. I love the how tiny it is. I love how, I don't know, it just looks so retro and so, I don't know, it reminds me of that car from Flåklypa. Like the, yeah. Even though it probably doesn't look anything alike, I feel like the Shelby Cobra kind of has like a steampunk-ish vibe, because it's like, I don't know, I can't describe what I mean exactly, because I don't know what I mean exactly. But yeah, I like that. I like that car. I probably wouldn't want to get one ever, because it's like got no roof, and I probably don't want to get a car. I For the foreseeable future, I love my city's like public transport, because it's so consistent. Like I I don't even have to check the app anymore when I need to take one of the buses, because I know that it goes like every 10 minutes on the same minute, like the same number for every 10 minutes, and it's not in the weekends. So then, like in the weekends, I often check the app just to double check. But I know when I need to be uh when at like what minute of the minute, like um if it's like right now it's 11:46, no, 10:46, because that one is 1 hour too fast, yeah, or 1 hour ahead. um I know that like the 46, if it was like on the 6th minute, it would be like 46, 56, 06, 16, and like it would be always there. Sometimes it goes like 1 minute before, but I've seen, like I've experienced the buses stopping, like if they've gotten to a stop too quickly, they sit there, wait, just to like even out the time, so they don't like drive past, they stop too fast. Because that is kind of annoying when you have when you like have good time and like, oh, okay, I don't need to go very fast, and then you see your bus just driving like, oh, okay, that was supposed to go in like 2 minutes, wow, okay. But recently they've stopped doing that, I believe, because it's so annoying. Like when you have calculated that it's time to go, and then you see it like, oh, okay, they just didn't, they, wow, then it's like, no, okay, bro, I just, like, you, when I've told people like, oh, the bus was too quickly, like, normally you would say like, no, you were just late to the bus, but no, I was on time, the bus was just too early, and like that's annoying. um because I'm very, like, I can't comprehend time, so just like the slightest change of routine is like really hard for me. So often I end up just, I don't know, I like having the consistency of the, oh, that looks like a little face on the wall, I just noticed it. But yeah, I like having the routine. No, not the routine. I like having the consistency of the bus stuff, because if I were to have a car, I would have to think like, okay, where do I park? Okay, are there parking spaces? Is there traffic? Do I have to like, because when it's traffic, I just zone out. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to be conscious. I can just like alt tab into my fantasy worlds and stuff. I can just start blendering in my head, and yeah, I can just like come up with different things and just reflect on stuff that I'm thinking about at that point. And yeah, it's very nice just disconnecting, not having to like be present. People keep people no, people don't keep texting me. It's keep people keep being active in my Discord server. How dare them? I still have notifications on for some reason. I don't like notifications, so I don't understand why I haven't turned them on. Not turned them off. Maybe because in the start I was like, oh yeah, we gotta keep the conversations flowing. But now there are enough people to like hold the conversations going, so I don't have to like, I don't feel that insecure about having to like micromanage the stuff. Because if I had to like put in super like a ton of energy just to keep the server from being dead, that would just mean there weren't anyone willing to chat with each other, and that wouldn't be like a problem of me. That would just be a problem of like the not being anyone, uh, people not having anything to connect with, I guess. I don't know, I just added like super many, like I just, I don't remember how many it was, but I think it was like 20 people in like 2 hours, and all of them were from like different friend groups and like different like where there were like friend dynamics, like completely different friend dynamics. So I was a little bit like scared of like, oh shit, okay, there are, because I don't know if I'm I don't know how I am, like how if, because you know how like everyone like, you don't say the same stuff to your mom like you say, maybe like you say to like your best friends, or like uh, you wouldn't say stuff to a stranger that you would say to your mom or whatever, like a parent or somebody in your family. Or maybe you would, but then you would probably be on the spectrum. Because let's face it, people on the spectrum. Okay, so I'm just gonna call people out now. This is the segment where I just start calling people out, and today I'm gonna talk about the people on the autism spectrum. How dare them? How dare they just be the way they are? What? No way. Not the social problems. Cringe. Just don't. Easy. Everyone else don't have problems, so why do you have a problem? just just don't. Other You just need to understand people, like honestly, it's so easy, you just do it. I don't see the problem with not with the thing. Need to you just need to um yeah. And top 10 other things you can tell yourself in the moment. I don't know. Ugh. I am tired, even though I have been awoke. I have awoken. Oh yeah, about like Google Disk. This is not sponsored, guys, but I bought the Google Disk subscription, 2 terabyte, because I realized that it was actually pretty nice having like all of my files accessible both on like mobile and two PCs at the same time, because now I could put all of my renders into the same disk and I don't have to like download them to my my I wouldn't need to download them to my phone, and if I forgot to download them I could still show them to people if I'd made like a thing, and then I could even make a much better portfolio type thing. Oh, I wonder if PureRef has... Wait, didn't PureRef have a mobile version? Nah, I don't think that was the PureRef thing. It was a different thing. Yeah, no, I should probably like make myself a better, more concise like portfolio that I can actually link to things. And maybe I should make like behind the scenes renders of like how my characters look, like the wireframe and stuff. Yeah, because just showing the renders, like the cool renders and stuff, that's kind of... it's more for people who don't know 3D, or people who, well, the wireframe stuff is more so people can actually understand like how did I make the model, and it can also like it's not purely for like the professionals. You can also show it to people who like who's just begun, because they won't know how the geometry is supposed to look, so they would make it like really high poly, like they would make like a circle with 80 segments, right? They would, because they would think like, oh, I need to make it smooth, therefore I need tons of geometry. And everyone has done that. Everyone at some point, like even if it was just once, everyone has done that. And if you tell me that you haven't, then you are either lying or you can't remember. Because yeah, I believe like even if you did it like you did it for a second and then you were like, oh no, I need to change, I need to be a better person, I need to not nah. If you just realized like, oh yeah, no, I can just use a subdivision surface modifier and just have like an 8 segment or 8 edges, an 8 segment cylinder, or even a 6-sided cylinder segment. Yeah, I don't know. Or even just a 4 segment. They look a little wonky though. They don't really turn out to be, well, maybe a 5 segment is kind of whack, because it's you're gonna have like an n-gon, or you're gonna have one quad and one triangle, or two. No, you wouldn't have 2 triangles, that would be 1 quad, bruh. Yeah, this doesn't make sense to anyone who doesn't understand Blender modeling stuff, or not even Blender modeling, just modeling, 3D modeling. Because that's the funny thing. You can watch when you get to the point where you understand how to use Blender and then like the tools in Blender, like modeling tools, you can watch people model in 3ds Max, in Maya, in fucking, I don't know, like, yeah, as long as it is not CAD modeling, because CAD modeling is, well, yeah, You can use box cutter, I guess. That's not really CAD. That's just Boolean modeling. It's close. Oh, I need to, bro. I don't really model hard surface stuff because I don't like the restrictive, like the things where you have to like line stuff up and stuff. This is, I've probably got like the wrong idea of how to do it. So when I think of like, oh, it's like very restrictive, like it has to be like perfect and stuff, I might be thinking of it wrong, because it might actually just be way easier than I think. It's like the thing with UV unwrapping. Like you think it's a lot harder, but when it actually comes down to it, it's actually so much simpler of a concept. You just need practice with it. And I believe that is what I need with the hard surface modeling techniques. It's just that I prefer making characters that don't have very much hard surface things. But I have started making more and more hard surface model stuff for my characters. And I know that the more I learn about the different types of modeling, like not just organic modeling, the better I will get, because you don't have to make purely you don't have to rely purely on one kind of modeling, because that often leads to looking like a little boring, because if you always have like really smooth curves and um no like details and stuff, that is that would get pretty boring. And I also know that I gotta learn anatomy, or uh, improve anatomy, because I know some stuff. I'm not like completely ignorant to it, because uh, or oh, well, I've probably learned, or like reinforced the wrong kind of learning, or the wrong kind of anatomy. Like I've been thinking like, oh, if I just do what I already know, I don't need to look at references. But then when I look at references, I'm like, yo, it's so much better. And it is so much easier as well. And that is the beauty of having references. The ease of the the ease of improvement, or the ease of getting better results, is like, it's so much more easier. It's so, yeah, it's a lot easier. A lot easier when you have references, because the tiny things that you don't remember, because we all think like it's really easy to think like, oh yeah, I have the idea, like I know how a door looks like, and then you make like a plane with a handle, and then you forget like the locking mechanism, and you might even forget like the hinges, maybe even the door frame, and even the, like the, what's it called, like the corners and stuff. um yeah, that is like, there is so much stuff that you forget about, that when you have references, you don't have to remember. You just look at it and like, oh yeah, okay, I forgot there was a this whatever. Like if you're making a camera, maybe you forget. No, wait, what is a better thing? Maybe if you make a, yeah, if you make a, what is a, if you make a chair, you might think like, oh yeah, okay, I make the sitting part, like the sitting and the back part, and then I make the legs, and then you might forget about the screws. So it just looks like glued on. And also the things that you do remember are going to be not very detailed, because you won't really understand what to do or how the detail is, because when you think you know the how a thing looks, it often is like um it often is like lower quality, or that's at least what I've seen from people when the like the difference between using reference and not is that it's often like less detailed because you don't know where to put the detail. Like if somebody made a chair, they would make like one uh like one cube for the sitting part and one cube for the back part, and then like four cubes for, or maybe four cylinders for like the legs, and then forget to like connect the stuff or like make it more ergonomic, like the curves and stuff, to like adapt or to fit like the human body and stuff. And so yeah, it's often stretching. Ooh, why does stretching feel so good sometimes, and sometimes it just ow. Okay, my back. No, I'm getting old. Oh no, is this distractible? What? No, I am not Markiplier and or Bob and Wade and friends. Oh, or maybe Tyler. Nah, he's very fit because he does like he works out and stuff. He's like active and stuff. Not me, bro. I oh yeah, wait. I heard. Wait, no, that's a 2-year-old video from at this point. The Kyle Hill, the guy, the another man on the spectrum. What? I'm on the spectrum. Spectrum. What is some spectrum? Yeah. My homie man, my homie from another, from the same spectrum me. Yes. Um. Yeah, he was talking about like climbing, how like 33% of all climbing accidents occur from like your tendons or ripping out of your finger and like detaching the thing that you like grip stuff when you do the crimp. And whenever I did whenever I was active and like, or was more active, I wasn't really active, I was just kind of a little bit active. I hated doing the crimp because it just felt so bad in my fingers, and I would do it like incorrectly because I was supposed to do it like in a certain way, but I would, instead of like holding it like this or whatever, I would hold it like this. I think no, I think I would like hold it this. I don't know. It would like push. Jesus Christ. Okay. Okay. It's pointless. It's a pointless endeavor. Why am I even trying to explain this, bro? Okay, I'm gonna go make myself another character. What? Because I want to do the blender before I go. Don't leave me hanging when I'm going. Blow yo. No. Blender. Yep. I love it. Have a good day. See you in the next episode of Yaptime. Yeah. Kisses, good nights and good kiss. Yeah, okay. Goodbye.